Hello everyone, I'm Kanupriya Sharma and I welcome you to this video solution by GMATQuizMaster. Have you solved logically complete questions in which one reason has been given and you need to find the other one? Well, the question that we are going to solve today is a hard official logically complete question which is based on the same pattern. And today we are going to understand a very commonly tested trap in such questions. Now, this is what happens. Students see the first reason, they assume that it is correct and complete, and they jump straight away into finding another independent reason that can explain the conclusion. But very often in such questions, the first reason is incomplete in itself. The first reason on its own cannot explain the conclusion, and therefore, the correct answer choice, which needs to be filled in the blank, is not an independent reason. It is an additional piece of information which, when combined with the first reason, can help explain the conclusion. Thus, the blank in such questions is not asking for an independent reason. It is asking for an additional piece of information that can help make the first reason complete, that can help the first reason explain the conclusion completely. Miss this distinction, and you will easily fall in the trap of incorrect answer choices that sound logical but do not actually provide the information that is required. Let's see the same thing in action. Let's start with passage analysis. Economist, so economist is the author here. Construction moves faster in good weather than in bad. So the economist is comparing the speed of construction in good weather versus bad weather, and the economist says that it moves faster in good weather compared to bad weather. All right, let's read further. So the economist is deriving something based on this information. Mild winters in areas that usually experience harsh conditions. So we are talking about some areas, the areas that usually experience harsh conditions, that is the usual thing. And we are talking about mild winters in such areas. Now, if you relate it back to what we have already read, the mild winters can be related to good weather conditions compared to the usual harsh weather conditions that these areas experience. All right. So, based on what we have already read, maybe we are going to say that something related to the speed of construction in mild winters, during mild winters in these areas, that it goes up or it is expected to go up or something like that. Let's read further. So, in such areas, during mild winters, it can appear to create construction booms as builders complete projects that would otherwise have to wait. So, right, the construction was going at a particular speed. Now, since the weather is changing, it is better. So, the construction speed will increase, and builders can complete projects that would otherwise have to wait, and therefore, it can appear that these mild winters are creating construction booms. So it is saying that it can appear to create, it is not always true, but it seems like that mild winters in such areas can lead to construction booms. All right, now let's read further. But means there's a contrast that we are going to read now. Forecasting one mild winter or even two for such areas. Now we are talking about forecasting one mild winter or even two for these areas. These areas means the areas that usually experience harsh conditions. For such areas, even if we can forecast one or two mild winters, that forecasting generally does not lead to overall increase in construction during these periods. So even if we can forecast one or two mild winters for these areas, for such areas, it generally does not lead to increase in construction during those mild winters. So there's a contrast given that construction moves faster in good weather, but in such areas, even if we can forecast one or two good weather seasons, the construction does not usually increase during those periods. Now, why that is so? There's a contrast. Why that is so? Let's read further. Because, so we have been given a reason. Construction loans are often obtained more than a year in advance. So it is providing a condition that you need to apply for the loan. You need to get that loan more than a year in advance. So proper planning is required. You need to get the loan at least or even more than a year in advance, and you need to find the other reason. So that is what the passage tells us. Now the question says, which of the following, if true, most logically completes the economist's argument? Now, in order to find what can complete this argument, we need to understand what is missing in this argument. So let's understand it. The expectation as per the passage is that the good weather, the mild weather that has been given, which is the good weather for these areas, should lead to construction boom. There should be an increase in construction. However, the observation, what the author is saying is that forecasting good weather. Now, forecasting means predicting. So this is a prior information. So this kind of forecasting generally does not lead to construction boom in such areas because one reason given is construction loans often need to be obtained more than a year in advance. Now, before jumping into the second reason, let's understand this first reason. This is a requirement that the construction loan needs to be obtained more than a year in advance. So, if let's say a builder is there's some construction going on, so for the activities that need to be carried out in 2027, the builder will apply for loan in somewhere between 25 and 26, right? Now there's a forecast. We are not saying that suddenly there is good weather. We are saying that there's a forecast of good weather. So if there's a forecast of good weather in 2027, then why can't the builder apply for that loan here? They have this prior information that they are going to get good season, a good weather in which construction can move faster. So why can't they apply for loan here? If they were applying for loan X here, when they get to know that there's a forecast of good weather, they can apply for an increased amount so that all resources are available. So this reason in itself is incomplete. Now, since we have to find something that can logically complete this argument, we need to find something that can help explain this reason. So the second blank here will provide us additional piece of information that will help explain why this is a problem. Let's quickly update our bridge table. So if your understanding of the passage logic was correct and complete, mark a tick here. And if you understood the conclusion properly, mark a tick here. If you faltered anywhere, if you missed something in the passage or the conclusion, or you misinterpreted something, mark a cross here and write down the exact reason here. Exact what did you miss? Why did you miss it? With that, let's proceed to understanding what the correct answer choice should convey here. As we've already discussed, the first reason which is given to us here is incomplete. It cannot explain why the construction activities do not increase during the mild winters in such areas. So, the correct answer choice will be an additional piece of information which, when combined with the first reason, will help explain why this forecasting of good weather for such areas generally does not lead to overall increases in construction during those periods. Now you can think about specific scenarios that can help that you may see in the answer choices, but again that is optional. Now one scenario can be that this information about this forecast information is received only 2 to 3 months before the actual season. The actual season. Now you need to apply for the loan more than a year in advance, and you get to know about it only 2 to 3 months in advance. So you've already missed that window of applying for the loan, and that is why this forecast is not helpful. This can be one scenario. The second scenario can be that this forecast is usually not reliable. So you will not plan so much in advance for things based on information that is not reliable. If it is usually not reliable, then maybe you will not think about planning for that for taking so much loan for the construction based on unreliable information. And then there can be other scenarios as well. Now let's update our bridge table. Now this is a very important aspect for this question and for similar questions to understand what the correct answer choice needs to convey. You understood that the first reason is incomplete and the second blank needs to provide that information that can complete the first reason. If your understanding was correct, mark a tick here. If you did not have this understanding or you did not even think about it, then mark a cross here and write down the exact reason. This is something. Choice A. Construction workers often travel to warmer climates in the wintertime in search of work. Now, if you had understood what the correct answer choice needs to convey, you would have easily rejected this answer choice because, yes, definitely it is an incorrect answer choice, but it is a very popular incorrect answer choice. So let's understand it in detail. So, one thing, if you selected this answer choice, you did not know what the correct answer choice needs to convey. You did not know that the correct answer choice needs to explain this reason. It needs to provide that additional information that can make this logic complete. So, that is something that you missed. Secondly, even if you were looking for independent reason, this choice does not act as an independent reason as well. So you did not analyze it correctly there also. Firstly, you should have rejected it because it does not convey what the correct answer choice needs to convey. That is where you faltered definitely. Secondly, even if it was a different situation and the first reason was complete in itself, this choice would still have been incorrect. Let's understand why. So this choice says that construction workers often travel to warmer climate in wintertime in search of work. So this is a generic information given to us. Now, when we are talking about these areas, the argument is about areas that usually experience harsh climates. So what would you expect in wintertime? You would expect harsh winters, right? So usually during these harsh winters, workers would migrate in search of work, because usually during harsh weather the construction would there would not be so much work, so they will move to warmer places. Good weather, more work, so they are more likely to find work there. All right, now, is this applicable in our scenario when we are saying that when we are talking about mild winters plus the construction activities are expected to increase, which means that there is it is it can be expected that there will be more work. So in this scenario, will the workers migrate? Most likely no. We cannot be sure, but most likely they will not go to warmer areas because they will get enough work here. They may not migrate, and that is why this choice does not provide a reason why such forecasts do not help, and that is why this choice is incorrect. Now, if you selected this answer choice, it's very important to update the bridge table for this choice. So most likely if you selected it, you did not understand what the correct answer choice needs to convey, and therefore it was wrong. The other thing is, did you understand this choice properly? Did you understand the impact of this choice properly? And as discussed, this choice presents very generic information. It is not applicable. The information that is given there, it does not convey that workers in our scenario will also move to warmer areas, and that is why you faltered here also, right? Now, gauge the alignment. So if you were not clear with what the intended choice, with what the correct answer choice needs to convey, it is difficult to gauge the alignment. It is not possible to gauge the alignment instead. So you definitely faltered here also. Choice B, another popular incorrect answer choice. Construction materials are often in short supply during construction booms. So again, this choice does not provide that additional information that can help make this first reason complete. So that is why it is incorrect. Now, again, even if it was an independent reason, it is still incorrect. Let's understand why. Construction materials are often in short supply during construction boom. So the situation that we are discussing in our question is that the construction boom does not even start. The construction does not increase. So we are not even getting into the situation in which the construction boom has already started. This choice talks about something that happens once that construction activity has increased, once that construction boom has started. After that start, this problem occurs. But our situation is different. In our situation, we are saying that we are not able to get to this point where this construction activity increases so much. So the information that is there in this choice is not relevant to our scenario at all, and that is why this choice is incorrect. Again, if you selected choice B, one probable reason is that you did not know what the correct answer choice needs to convey, and the other thing is that you did not understand. Even otherwise, you were not able to evaluate this choice properly. So please update your bridge table accordingly. And let's move to the third popular incorrect answer choice, choice C. Choice C. Many builders in these areas are likely to apply for construction loans at the same time. Now, if you selected choice C, you probably knew that the correct answer choice needs to complete this reason. So you did well there. If that was the case, well done till there. Where you faltered is while analyzing this answer choice. You brought in an assumption when you were evaluating this answer choice. This choice just says that many builders in these areas are likely to apply for construction loan at the same time. It does not convey that they will not be given, those loans will not be approved, or there will be an issue because so many builders are applying for it, or there will not be any issue. It does not talk about the impact of this everyone applying or so many builders applying for the loan together. We do not know whether it would really be a problem or not, and that is why this choice is incorrect. It is in line with what the correct answer choice, it seems to be in line with what the correct answer choice needs to convey. It seems to be providing a reason why this loan is a problem, but when you are evaluating this answer choice, it does not clearly present the impact of so many people applying for the loan together. And that is why, most likely, if you selected this answer choice, you brought in an assumption that because so many people are applying for loans together, they may not be approved, or there will be some other issue because of which the construction will not increase. So this is an assumption that you brought in while evaluating choice C. Remember, any answer choice which is based on an assumption is not correct. So please update your bridge table accordingly. Here, most likely, if that is the reason why you faltered, why you selected choice C, most likely you understood what the correct answer choice needs to convey, but you did not understand this answer choice correctly. You brought in an assumption, and that is what will go here in this explanation. Choice D, which is the correct answer choice. It is frequently the case that forecasted weather trends do not actually occur. So we are saying that very frequently this forecast information is incorrect. So what happens? What is the impact? That if, let's say, a builder knows that there are 90% chances that this information will be incorrect, are they likely to apply for the loan more than a year in advance? There will be some issue, right? They will not be very confident. Not so many builders may apply, may get the loan. Not so many builders may believe in that information, and that is why even if this season occurs, even if this forecast is true, there may be a lot of builders who were not taking it seriously, and therefore they were not ready for that increase in construction activity, right? So that is what this choice conveys, that yes, the loan needs to be obtained in advance, but not a lot of people believe in the they do not consider this information reliable. This information is in itself not reliable, and that is why it indicates that okay, people may not be applying for loans so much in advance, and that is why when this season actually occurs, the construction activities generally do not increase. So sorry for this, this choice is correct. This choice provides that additional information which makes this reason complete, that why this condition of obtaining loan in advance may be a problem. And that is why this is the correct answer choice. Now, if you rejected this answer choice, you need to understand why you rejected this. What was the problem? What you missed? Did you not understand it correctly? Did you not know what the correct answer choice needs to convey? First of all, that is already there. And again, did you not interpret it properly, or did you not gauge the alignment? Did you not see that it actually conveys what the correct answer choice needs to convey? With that, let's move to choice E. Choice E. Mild winters are generally followed by spring and summer weather that promotes more rapid construction. So, first of all, this choice does not give that additional piece of information that can help complete the first reason. That is why it is incorrect. The other thing is, even if you look at it independently, then okay, mild winters can be followed by even more construction. That is okay. But then why the construction is not increasing during mild winters? For example, there is a current season going on which is harsh, right? It is followed by mild winter, which is followed by spring and summer. So we are saying that the construction, if it was 5x here, it becomes 10x. But this does not help explain why the construction does not increase here. The construction could have increased from x to 5x because of this change in season, because of better weather, and then it could have increased from 5x to 10x. So this choice does not help explain why the construction did not increase during the mild winter, and that is why this choice is incorrect. So with this, we have solved this hard, logically complete official question. You have updated your bridge table for this question, and I'm sure you'll be able to update your error log for this one. I hope this learning about two reasons given and the first one not being complete is something that you will be able to apply in other questions as well. Good luck.